Good afternoon. Can you hear me? All right. I'm Anne Breckenridge Barrett. I am the director of the Center for Creative Photography, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today. It is fantastic to see so many people in this auditorium. So happy birthday, Ansel Adams. Yeah. As director, it's my job to be a champion of the center. It's my job to tell everyone about its mission, about the fact that here at the University of Arizona, we have something that you cannot see or access anywhere else on the planet. And that's incredible. That's why I'm here. 5 million archival objects, 90,000 fine prints that all tell the story about a comprehensive collection that encompasses the history of photography, invites inquiry into its future, and brings people from all over the world to study and discuss the medium. The exhibition that's out right now, Ansel Adams Performing the Print, is curated by our chief curator, Becky Senf. And today, if you have any questions, she will be walking around. So please take advantage of the incredible staff and expertise that we have here. Now, in addition to being the champion of the center, it's part of my job to say thank you. And what a great part of someone's job, right? So today, I would like to thank our sponsors, Tim Haggard and Zocalo, for making events like this at the center possible. We couldn't do them without you, so thank you very much. I'd also like to say a very special thank you to the Western Photographic Historical Society and its director, Matt Cook, for underwriting David Kennerly's presentations this weekend. The Western Photographic Society has been a great partner at the first Ansel Adams celebration last year, and we appreciate their continuing support. If you haven't had a chance to check out the camera display right out here out front near the auditorium, do so. The photography equipment is amazing and harkens back to exactly what Ansel Adams was doing and the type of equipment that he used. I'd like to say that I recently joined the CCP after moving here from Chicago, and friends and colleagues would wink and say, yes, I know why you came there, it's the weather. But notwithstanding the weather, the reason I came to this place is because of this incredible institution. And I believe there can never be enough thank yous bestowed upon Dr. John Schaefer for having the vision and working with Ansel Adams and partnering to understand and create this incredible repository. So thank you, John Schaefer, for being here today. Of course, a special thank you to Pulitzer Prize winning photojournalist David Kennerly, who is here today and is going to share his stories about a friendship with Ansel Adams that was deep and close. I had the privilege of visiting David and his wife in Santa Monica last month, and I am grateful for their friendship and connection to the center. So thank you, David. And I'd like to say thank you to the members. We have a very new membership program here. It's in its infancy, but the response has been amazing. So if you are here and you're a member, thank you. Thank you for your investment and your trust in us to go forward in this new chapter. It's very exciting. And if you're not a member, I encourage you to join today. There are exclusive events you can attend by becoming a member, and we're leaving for APAD and the photography show in April, and we're going to spend a week with select members. We're going to have a wonderful discussion hosted by Christie's between me and our chief curator and the director of Christie's photography department. We're going to go to gallery walks and studio visits. It'll be fantastic. So please do consider joining us and supporting us as we move forward. A final thank you to the incredible team here. They have worked above and beyond this week to bring you this birthday celebration, and I am humbled by them every day I come here. The archivists, the curators, the registrars, the development team, the external relations folks, everyone is dedicated and completely committed to what this institution produces and does every day. So thank you to the CCP team. And I am very thrilled and grateful to have President Robbins here today, the president of the University of Arizona. And he has agreed to say a few words and introduce Dr. Schaefer. So, Dr. Robbins.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And this was the first time I got to meet you, so thank you very much for agreeing to come back to your husband's home here in Tucson and to this fabulous center. The weather is going to be worth it, but the work you do here is going to be even better. And thank you so much. We're so incredibly fortunate to have you here. So thank you for being here. And I also had the chance to spend some time with Rebecca and David in Santa Monica, and I dragged them to an event that there's a museum for the 1984 Olympic Games, and we had all of the University of Arizona Olympians from all the way back come to an event, and then we had dinner afterwards. So it was fun to hang out with you guys, and thank you for being here and presenting this incredible lecture on such a special day. And I get the job of introducing a man who literally needs no introduction, especially this crowd. I have met all of the presidents of this great university going back to President Schaefer, and I told him the first time I met him, and now I can include myself in this group of saying that he is the absolute high watermark for any of us. And every person has said that President Schaefer was the transformational president of this university. And I couldn't agree more with that. Really turned the university around from a nice regional university into a world-class research-intensive university with planetary science, optical science, so many things that we're so great at now was because of President Schaefer's vision, and we really are one of the top research universities in the world, and we all should be thankful to him. But also, not only did he have the science side of his brain going, but he also had the creative art side of his brain, and we've got tremendous arts here at the university. This facility would not be here without President Schaefer and his special relationship with Ansel Adams, which you all know better than me. And the Poetry Center would not be here. So I got to go to the Poetry Center the other night and watch him describe these incredible first edition books that nobody in the world has, but now the Poetry Center has, because it came from his private collection. He would describe it and he would throw it over and he would say, I think it needs to be in the Poetry Center, so now you own it. So I just can't say enough about your leadership, President Schaefer, and it's an honor for me to be here and to be able to introduce you. So, President John Schaefer.
And thank you for not bringing up the football team while I was president. We have a lot of people here, some younger, some older, and I know a lot of you may be expecting phone calls and messages during the next hour. So I want to remind you, please remember to turn on your phones when you leave the auditorium today. We wouldn't want you to miss any messages. My job today is to introduce someone I've known for a long, long time. He's one of the world's great photographers, David Kennerly. There is a tide in the affairs of men when taken at the flood lead to success. David began an interest in photography at the age of 12, I'm told, and when he went to high school, he got involved in the school publication and began photographing. At the age of 18, when he graduated, he did something really quite bold. He went down and got a job as photographer for the Oregon newspaper. He recognized that the 20th century was going to be an incredible part of our history, and he jumped on the tide that was flowing and decided that he was going to be part of it, not just watch it happen, but he was going to be part of it, and he did that. He went to Los Angeles, got a job there, moved after a while to New York, then down to Washington, and in about 1971 made a momentous decision. The real action of that time was the war in Vietnam, which was something that was concerning all of us. He didn't want to report on it from Washington, D.C. He wanted to be on the ground, and that's what he did. He went to Vietnam, took memorable photographs, and out of that came a Pulitzer Prize that he won at a very young age. He's not a photographer who, however, just focuses on one aspect of the world. He's photographed the boxing match between Ali and Frazier, was it? He photographed the New York Mets when they took the World Series years ago. He's been part of virtually every single important event that's occurred as an observer and as a recorder in the last 40 or 50 years. I got to know David early on as a friend of Ansel Adams. David was the photographer in the White House for Jerry Ford, and Ford and Ansel developed a relationship catalyzed to a large degree by David, and we got to know each other at that time. The Center for Creative Photography came about really fairly quickly in my relationship with Ansel Adams. It took a 10-minute conversation and a little bit of work after that, and it came into being. In 1979, I suggested to David that his archive belongs where Ansel Adams' archive, Eugene Smith's archive is, and everything else. 39 years later, we're still talking about this. So some deals are harder to close than others. David is an extraordinary man. He's well known for his war photographs. You know, politicians start wars, but photographers bring them home to us. Starting with Francis Frith and the Crimean War, Brady's war photographs and Gardner's during the Civil War, World War II photographs by people like Robert Capa and Eugene Smith, whose archives are here. I think really the reason that the war in Vietnam came to an end is because of the images that we're being seen day in and day out. People just got tired of it. People lost faith in what our government was trying to do. So in a sense, photographers helped us to see what was going on and brought about a monumental change in our history as a consequence of that. David Kennerly has been part of that history, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of the things he's done and his involvement with our birthday boy today, Ansel Adams. David?